It is Regina along with Not So Perfect Parenting, and I am on here for another live. I am going live every single night for the rest of the year, and we are going to talk about some things. Parents, I know I have so many videos about being inappropriately touched, but that is something that is very near and dear to my heart. And so I wanted to talk about it again because sorry, I got a message. Okay. Let me zoom down to get one. All right. So I was watching a video and it is about the Lambs. I've never watched like Joni Lamb and all that. I didn't even know who these people were. I've heard of them in like different circles and things like that, but I've never like actually watched their videos and all of that. But these are pastors or ministers of the gospel, and allegedly, or it's coming out that her granddaughter, possibly they're calling her baby lamb for privacy, thank God, that she may have been essayed by a family member and at least inappropriately touched. And so that story has been going on and on and on. This has been a while ago, and the family, I'm not going to say that the family kind of swept it under the rug. In my eyes, it was kind of like, listen, I get who we are, but my kid, if somebody tell me something about their kid or my kid or something like that, I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's me. We all getting told on. Something has to be done, because the way that this story, you guys have to really look at it. The way that this story kind of comes out is very bizarre. So when these kind of things were happening, so apparently um, the mother, Susie and Jonathan, were kind of like, okay, there's an investigation going on, and they kind of wasn't really saying anything. And then the investigation came out, or the father of Jonathan was saying, hey, the investigation is done. Y'all don't have to worry about it. Nothing really came out to it. So they, being, people who they were, to submit to authority, and they trusted their father, was like, okay, there's nothing really to this. But I don't really understand all of it, so I'm not pointing blame at anybody. But the little girl said she was touched. She said she was touched by her. I'm not sure who this person is. I think he's married into the family. They were calling him Pete at one moment, but then there's a journalist now who is saying his name. And I said they should have been said his name. If there were documentation about the alleged abuse and the little girl and already kind of said some things about it, what are we covering it up for? What are we hiding for? And they've been hiding this. So I keep hearing about the story, and I always hear about the story. And I wanted to get on here and encourage parents, because now there is a video out. Hey, how are you? Now there is a video out about the alleged essay. And they're in an interrogation room. It's the relatives who seen this. And this is, I don't want to judge, but this kind of stuff makes me mad. Because as adults, we are the ones that are supposed to help the children. We are the ones who protect the kids. Adults protect children. That's what we're supposed to do. So what's bizarre in this interview to me is and I'm not putting no blame, because you never know how people deal with their kids and all of that. But my thing getting on here is, if you feel uncomfortable about the way that a child is being touched or talked to or something like that, go tell somebody. And if you tell somebody who's like, hey, who's very nonchalant about it, then you may need to be like, hey, anonymously, because you can report people anonymously. And I know nobody wants to smoke, nobody wants to heat when it comes to their family. Nobody wants that to happen. But what was bizarre in this interview that kind of pissed me off was that the relatives said that they witnessed this child being inappropriately kissed in the mouth by an adult. They witnessed it. On one occasion, they said that the mom of the child was in the room. And the uncle's like, I was waving like this to Susie so she could do something about it. Why didn't you do nothing about it? Why didn't you do anything about it? That is so bizarre to me. Now, I'm not blaming them because, like he said, um, I believe, and this is no shot or nothing, Susie is like a different culture or something like that. So he was like, I didn't know how they wanted their kids to be loved on or whatever. But the fact that you felt like it was inappropriate, the fact that you looked and you were uncomfortable, that should have been enough to say, wait a minute, something ain't right. And that's why I want to get on here and talk to adults and tell you guys, when you feel like something is uncomfortable or inappropriate, you have the right to say something. You have the right. That is your job as a adult, to protect children, because they don't always have a voice. Kids don't usually even know what's going on. For me, and I'm not going to say who the family member is or whatever, and if it's any family member of mine, my granddaughter can't sit on men's laps. Absolutely. I said, I tell them, get off their lap. And people get offended, like, there's nothing crazy going on. I don't care. She should not be on your lap, especially in the middle of your lap. Why? No, 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 no. Get off their lap. That's just appropriate to me. Even if it's a family member, I am training my granddaughter to know it's inappropriate to sit in people's laps all cuddled up. And I just don't, it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate, because if she feels like she can do it with family members that she knows, when somebody who is inappropriate with her wants her to sit on her lap, she'll know, like, oh, my Emma said no, I don't need to sit on. It's because we've seen too much. There was a lady on here when I was talking about inappropriate touching. She actually explained about a guy who would have the girls in the neighborhood sit on their laps, and he would kind of fondle them. And we're not saying that everybody has inappropriate actions or inappropriate feelings or anything like that. That's not what we're saying. But we do know that there are some people who have inappropriate they're inappropriate, and they're gonna try to do that. So I'm training my grandkids automatically for certain things, not trying to get, oh, you're taking their innocence away. No, I don't want somebody to fully take their innocence away. There should not be a young girl sitting on any man's lap. I mean, now, if she's sitting on his leg on the side or something like that, okay, I ain't got, but she's sitting in the middle, and no, 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 no. We have to teach our kids appropriate touch, appropriate things. You have to start talking to your kids very early. Very early. Because I think this young lady, she's not a young lady. She's still a child. But I want to say they may have said this girl may have gotten SA between 5 and 8, maybe. Somewhere around that. That is very young. Very, very young. And so I just want to get on here to make sure parents be aware. This is it's an uncomfortable conversation, but this is a conversation that you need to be having with your children. As young as they can start comprehending appropriate touch, inappropriate touch. I have some books, and I have to go upstairs and find them, but I bought them for my granddaughter, and now I have a grandson as well. And so I bought The Appropriate Touch. You guys can get it off TikTok. I don't know who the author is, but they are some great books, and they talk about touching, appropriate touch and inappropriate touch. And I don't think it's too early to ever talk to your kids about something like that, because you just never know. When you talk to them, they may say, well, you know what, such and such. And not every allegation may lead to something, but if you feel like something is inappropriate or uncomfortable, you as an adult, you have a duty to protect these kids, especially in ministry. You got a pedophile in ministry over children and all that. Nah, that's not good. That's not cool. We can't do that. We can't do that. You got the predator of the family who comes around everybody, and y'all ain't told on them yet. We can't do that. We can't do that. This is the season for telling. Absolutely it is. So I want to get on here. I still want to encourage you parents. We're still speaking life and all that other stuff. But as you're speaking life and as you're encouraging yourself and being an example to your children, please, please, please talk about inappropriate touching, and let them be your safe place. That's one of the reasons why kids don't always tell. They don't feel like they're safe to tell, and then they feel like they're going to get in trouble. And that's we have to start kind of realigning that. And the only way you're going to start feeling comfortable about these conversations, and that they're going to feel comfortable talking to you about things, is you're going to have to start the conversation. And it can't be just one time. Um, Somebody said I got limited edition action figures. Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was something pertaining to this, and it's not. So, all right. I just wanted to get in here and encourage you all. Parents, I see you. I hear you. I'm praying for you all. I appreciate you all for getting on here. And I will be back tomorrow for another live. It's Regina Long with Not So Perfect Parenting.